on a night that produced the first back-to-back losses this season and perhaps the first sprinkled inkling of concern for the Rangers this season. Inside our Delta MSG studios, hi everyone, John Giannone alongside Steve Valiquette. Rangers shut out for the first time since Game 7 against the Devils in New Jersey last May 1st, 4-0 the final in Washington.
It's funny you bring that up because I'm traumatized from that series, and I mean it, traumatized from the fact that Igor Shesterkin in that 7-game series lost last year against the Devils. He allowed 14 goals in the series. 7 of them were off the rush. And I'm telling you from a former goalie, the hardest scoring chances to face in a game are off the rush, odd man situations, because you can't lock on the shooter and you get beat on a pass. And the first goal, 1 minute into the first period tonight, it wasn't off the rush, but it was in zone with speed and turning, and the seam was open twice. And this game reminded me a lot of last year's playoffs when things went sideways for the Rangers. So I can't sit here with good confidence and say everything's going to change until we start seeing it when it happens to the Rangers after things have gone well for them. And that's the key, because let's not forget, they were up 2-0 in that series. So when it gets good to them, can they stay on it and not let it get too good to them where they get comfortable and the foot comes off the gas and then they play loose hockey that's not going to win. It's not going to win in the playoffs. And my standard for this team, it's Stanley Cup. It's all the way up there. So I don't watch this game through the lens of, oh, it's just the Rangers building up towards something. I mean, I think everybody has expectations for this game, this season, and this 3-game segment of games that includes tomorrow against LA and then Tuesday against Toronto. These are 3 big games. And I would have loved to see the Rangers come out and be ready to play. They weren't. They also gave up a goal in the second period with 2 minutes remaining, which is a no-no. And they also gave up the 4th goal of the game coming out of a commercial break that had a face-off in their zone. Washington zone. So they went the full length of the ice. Right. I don't like those things. It means you're not ready to go. And if you're not ready to go, you can't play at a high level because you haven't made any adjustments.
And it was the Rangers' first game in 4 days after the rather unsightly loss in Ottawa last Tuesday. But for the 4th straight game, the Rangers allowed the first goal. And Steve mentioned it. It was only 43 seconds in on the first shift of the game. And it really felt like, Steve, the Rangers were playing uphill the next 59 minutes.
Yes, because that's what it does to you. Goals in the first minute, they sink the bench. Take it from me, I've seen a lot of games from there. Guys have a hard time getting over this. And it's 2 seam passes, seriously, that go through the box. You can't allow 2 seam passes in the first minute of a hockey game, especially on the road. And this was another one, too. The second goal was a backdoor pass, but that was after a failed first attempt, where Igor makes a big save on it, and a 2-on-1 with way too much time and space for me. You can't give a right-handed shooter inside ice like that on a 2-on-1. You've got to step up and slice. And then I think, look what it does to your goalie. Igor is now not looking like Igor, and on the goal 4, come on, he's jumping across the crease to try and see it, and he looks out of sorts. So now you're in a spin cycle that doesn't get you into a place, John, where you've unraveled here in Washington, and now you got to get ready because you've got a huge game tomorrow against the Los Angeles Kings at home.
And you have to get ready off of a night where you did not score at all. Charlie Lindgren pitches the shutout, 31 saves for his 4th career shutout. Yet there were opportunities for the Rangers, and Lindgren was certainly helped by the 4x6 behind him.
That's fair, right? Because you could easily say that there were 2 crossbars that were close and an open net that Mika passed to Kreider on the back door. So you're looking at some of these opportunities. You could say, okay, well, we're a sliver away from a 4-3 hockey game, and we're not that bad. We're okay. But no, I don't think you're ever on the right side of luck when you are playing a certain way away from the puck or your details aren't there. So, yeah, you could go that way and be positive and say, hey, we were close a few times and we could have been in a close game that would have maybe possibly gone our way in the last minute. But I've never seen in this game luck ever fall to the team that hasn't put all the steps in required to have a full commitment to a hockey game. Luck just never falls your way. It falls your way when you do all the little things, and then you get the benefit of the broken play. We've seen it all year. Coming into this game, you're not 18-5-1 because you haven't worked. This has been a great run of hockey. I just don't like the last 3 games, and this being the 4th game now in a row where I think the Rangers have gotten away from themselves.
So if you process these 60 minutes soon after the game as it is, What bothers you more, the 4 on that side of the board or the 0 on
the 4 against?
Really?
Yeah, because it's got your goalie, who is your MVP from 2 seasons ago. He's reeling now. He's not feeling it. Look, did I like the fact that he didn't get the start tomorrow? I don't like that. I wanted to see Igor playing against, I'm telling you right now, this LA Kings team on paper, watch them. They just won their 12th game. Are winning, okay. Mm-hmm. This is the best team in hockey right now. And you've got a home game against them tomorrow. Don't think this ever gets lost on the players because, look, Igor's saying to himself, do you guys not trust me against the top team? Those things don't get past us. Not that it's the fact of the matter, but you're still questioning it. Do you want Igor to question himself? I don't. I want him to go out there and know that I'm on the shot and this is my game. And
might he be questioning himself now, knowing he's allowed 9 goals, all even strength in the last 2 games, separated by 4 days, where he had a chance to clear his mind and hone his game?
100%. Because look, call it what it is. The Rangers were doing a pretty good job of insulating him a little bit and protecting him. You have to protect your best players sometimes, and he's going through it a little bit. We all do. And by the way, not bad that the Rangers are having a tough stretch now. It's December. They've got to face some adversity at some point in the season. This is the stretch right now where you learn, because players pay attention when things don't go well because they're open to advice from your coaches. They're going to listen. And right now is the time to sit back, get the feedback they need, and make some adjustments. 4, 6, and 5, the goals against in the Rangers' last 3 games for a total of 15. Speaking of feedback, here's some instant feedback from Vincent Trocheck in the dressing room with Dave Maloney.
Well, Vin, it's the first time back-to-back. You've had to kind of come off the mat. You've done it before. Your thoughts coming out of this loss tonight?
Yeah, I don't think we played our game. Didn't really play with enough grit and attitude to come out of that one with a win.
So you get it down in the hole early, and I guess you just got to find the fortitude to try and grind it out?
Yeah, it starts with our start wasn't good enough. We didn't have enough attitude and desire to go out there and get one back after losing one last game, and then it just snowballed from there, and we didn't have that fight in our game.
Yeah, it's important to find that fight at some point, right?
Yeah, luckily we only have 1 day till our next game. We can get back at it right away, so we got to dig deep and make sure we come out tomorrow against a really hot team.
Grit, attitude, and desire. So at least according to Vincent Trocheck, it was much more about the will than the skill.
Well, right now, what do the players want? They want the process to be something that they can lean on experience-wise when it really matters in the playoffs, because internally they know they're built to win. At the beginning of the season, there were probably 10 teams that thought they could challenge for the Stanley Cup, and I think that list is already down to 5, and I think the Rangers are one of those 5. And right now, it's more about the process than the results. The results will come, but the process wasn't there tonight. The controllables, the attitude, the effort, the preparation. There was no preparation. We talked about when the goals were scored. You don't give up a goal in the first minute of the game. That could kill you in the playoffs. You can't have it. And it wasn't just the goal. It was the plays before the goal. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was 3 chances right away, and you're just kind of like, guys, are we ready to go or what? And I know that we could easily say, oh, they've had 3 games, days off rather, between games and that, but not with these guys, not at this level.